Yashodanandana Brajajaranjana Yashodanandana Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Yashodanandana Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivastava Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुषुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitasya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Bhakta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Vacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Ashrata Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we are heading towards a very special month of Kartik. In another 1 week, I guess. 28. Today is what? 29th. Yeah, maximum 1 week. 1 week. We are heading towards one of our very very special celebrated month by the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, which is the month of Kartik. And of course, now before Kartik, we have some very nice festivals coming up, which is one is just coming in few days. Dashera. Then one day before the Kartik Mass started, Sharad Purnima, one of the most celebrated festival. When I joined the temple, it was just white dress. Now it's full light out and the white dress and with only lamps. Very, very celebrated now. In the early 2000s when I joined, we used to have only white dress for the deities on the Sharad Purnima. But now you have the moon also in the background with the light. So special, so nice. And with the Kartik month, we start offering the lamps to the Lord. And also, along with that, so many beautiful pastimes like Damodar Leela, and then we have Deepavali, Lord Ramchandra coming back, Govardhan Puja, and I think Gopashtami, Baulashtami, so many, Prabhupada's disappearance festival of all, Prabhupada's disappearance festival, so many festivals to glorify the Supreme Lord, hear about Him. I think many devotees will be going for pilgrim yatras. We are going to Vrindavan. How many of you are coming to Vrindavan? Most of you, yeah. So we are going for the Vrindavan yatra, being there with Dinabandhu Prabhu and having his association. And along with that, the world is in a very terrible situation, isn't it? There's a war going on, and we are just watching. That could be World War III now. अभी ईरान अभी घुस गया, अभी चाइना और पुतिन कुछ कर देंगे तो फिर कुछ भी हो सकता है. Very terrible. People are busy with that more. So much anxiety. Everyone. I was traveling flight, right? Everywhere, it's just videos about Israel and Hamas war. And we are very fortunate. Bhaktivedanta Purpose always speaks about this. We just forgot COVID. Now this war is there. And anything can happen here also. And middle of all this, World Cup is going on. That's another anxiety. It's in India. So World Cup is also going on. So so important, and at the same time, everything is important. Everything is very, very important. But then, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have understood what is the priority. The priority is to understand, to see this world through the eyes of scriptures. Shastra Chakshu it is called. Shastra Chakshu, through the eyes of scriptures. Otherwise, we will be just wasting our time and will be punished by the stringent laws of material nature. A few days ago, Devkinandan Prabhu was giving a class. He gave a very beautiful story. How people get into wasting their time and get punished by the material nature. I don't know if I told this story, a donkey and a horse eating grass. I told this story. So one day, the donkey and a horse, they were eating grass together. And suddenly, the donkey said, the green grass is so tasty. But the grass is not green. It's a little dry. It's yellowish green. The donkey said, no, 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 no. It is green. And the big quarrel took place between the horse and a donkey. And all the animals came, they started pacifying horse and donkey. Said, no, nothing doing that. Or this green means green, donkey said. And horse said, no, it is yellowish green. This is a donkey, it doesn't have any sense. So big arguments, they decide what to do, how to pacify, how to settle this. Let's go to the king. He said, let's go to the king. So king, they went to the king of the jungle. Who's the king of the jungle? So went to the lion and told both of them present in their side. And he said, my sir, I want you to send someone there and measure each grass. And then let us know, let us decide. The grass is green or yellowish green. Then the lion said, take the horse and give him double punishment. Take the horse and give him double punishment. Now, the horse was surprised. I said, first of all, the donkey is donkey. He has done a mistake. And about the double punishment to me, why? The king said, two reasons. First, you got in a quarrel with donkey. Second thing, you bought him here and waste my time also. You brought him here and wasted my time also. So, that is how the material nature is. Everything is so important in this world. But we get stuck. We don't know what we should get into, what we should not get into, how the material nature is going to punish us for what we are doing, how are we spending our time. So all this is going on, and I'm preaching. When I'm telling you, I'm part of it. I'm preaching to myself also. I'm preaching to myself also. So Srila Prabhupada always emphasized that uh, it is very, very important that devotees always focus on their progress in Krishna consciousness and live a life wherein you have, like, if you discuss about the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, it's a very vast subject. It's a very vast subject. And then it's also shrink down to simple that we are not this body, we are spirit, soul, and Jivera Swarupoy Krishnera Nityadas. The constitutional position of a jiva or a soul is to do service. And the perfection of the service is to serve the Lord, serve the Supreme Lord. And then our scriptures teaches us, many people say, how how I can do this, how I cannot do this, what can I do? So our scriptures has so many various pastimes, various tattva. It's about, recently I was preparing, just before Janmashtami on Balram Purnima, I was at Attapur. I was preparing class on Balram Purnima. So while reading, I just did a little more research this time because uh, Balram Tattva has a very deep explanation. Because if you understand the Tattva, Balram Tattva, then you understand you are very insignificant. Because Krishna's second expansion is Balram, and then he does further expansion to serve Krishna. So much so that he becomes a sandal of Krishna, he becomes a dhoti of Krishna, he becomes a helmet of Krishna, he becomes the bed of Krishna. And then he is Paramatma within everyone's heart. That is also Lord Balaram, expansion of Lord Balaram. So I was just reading, and then you understand how insignificant how insignificant we are in compared to, you know, service to the Lord. Lord doesn't depend on us. Everything is set. When He wants to have pleasure, His pleasure giving potency, Srimati Radharani, Sita Devi, they manifest. That's why I researched Srimati Radharani or Srimati Sita is not a normal woman we talk about in this world. They are the Lord's pleasure giving potency manifest from within the Lord to give Him pleasure. So Guru Govind Maharaj very beautifully says that the form, the form which manifests from within the Lord to give Him pleasure, that is Sri Radhe. The form which manifests from within the Lord, that is Sri Radhe. Now we all, know that we know Radha Krishna from our childhood. हमारे हमारे गांव में मंदिर था, हमारे घर पे मंदिर था, हमारे ग्रैंड पूर्वजों से पूजा करते राधा कृष्ण का. But nobody knows Radha Krishna Tattva. Who is Srimati Radharani? Nobody knows. Similarly, when you read about Lord Balaram, you understand everything the Lord arranges. He's totally independent. That's why He's Supreme Lord. And then when we read scripture, so every individual has to pick up something, some principles, some values, and then build up his devotional path. Devotional path. And many times, many devotees, they take up Krishna consciousness, build it up. Initially, it's very attractive, very attractive. Remind me this point. I'll tell you one story before that. I just remember one story from Radha Govind Maharaj's class. So Radha Govind Maharaj was telling that in one village there was Ram Katha going on. So one person, he heard Ramayana, and he was a family man. How the culture is, the story tells us. He said he was a very cultured man and very much coming from a very orthodox small village. And when he heard Ramayana, he was very influenced by Ram Katha. And he actually developed a lot of detachment from the material life. Lot of detachment from material life, because he understood that hearing about the Supreme Lord, he understood that the soul can be satisfied in the material by only two things. One, he hears about Krishna, and second, he chants the glories of the Lord. Only these two things can give the soul satisfaction. And everything what else he does in his life should be centered around this. So this man, he understood this. He said, let me just go and just, what am I doing in my family life? I should just renounce and just go and just do bhajan. So the fellow left his family and small child and went to do bhajan. He said, I do nitya bhajan and not eating anything and just drinking water. So he went to a nearby holy place and sat there. So 15 days, 20 days, he only drank water. Another 1 month also he managed. Then he became famous also, but he was very hungry. He became very famous, but simultaneously he was very hungry. But by that time he became famous, people started coming for his darshan. You know. So after a couple of months, he became very skinny. So his glories was spreading, and his wife heard. His wife heard. So when the wife heard this, she went with the small baby in the hot hand, and she went at the very evening time when nobody was there, and she had with hot prasad, and she saw him in that condition and she cried. She said that you continue your bhajan like this, but please eat something. I have brought some prasad for you. You eat this. You continue your bhajan. And she saw her and she started crying, seeing the husband's situation. And husband broke down. He started crying very loudly. And he got one realization. He said, he thought that actually I should not very much hurry into renouncing the material world or a family and society to perform bhakti. Actually, what my wife she did today, The loves she had shown me, actually, that is how I should love the Supreme Lord. The loves, because the wife came and she told that she came with a child. She said that you continue your budget, at least eat something. You continue. She is renounced them 2 months. He just broke down. So Radhakan Maharaj was telling how rich our culture is. He said, how rich our culture is. And our Krishna consciousness philosophy is based on two things: holy name and the culture. You know, Srila Prabhupada introduced the holy name and the Vedic culture, the Vaishnava culture. He introduced that. So I told something to remind me, no? Yeah, initially, so we take up Krishna consciousness. Initially, it's like it takes us very high, so much high that if you don't go beyond that, coming down is also very dangerous because you top karke coming down, because the philosophy itself is so attractive because nobody knows, nobody. And when Prabhupada says the rascals in the material world, they are suffering and they don't even understand. It is just like the camel eating its own blood and thinking it is so tasty because the plants with the thorn is actually hurting its own tongue and blood is coming out. And Prabhupada gives this example and we pick it up very well from there. We pick it up that how people in the material world are foolish, and then we take up Krishna. And Krishna consciousness beyond pious Hindus is outstanding realization. You go beyond a pious Hindu. Pious Hindu means he is sentimental, but he doesn't understand any philosophy. He's sentimental. But we are great. Why? We understand the philosophy now. So well. We are not this body, we are spirit soul. And above that, there is eternal body in the spiritual world. Eternal body. जब भक्ति करेंगे तो क्या होगा? जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि से हम लोग मुक्त हो जाएंगे. We don't have to take again birth in the material world. We'll have what? Eternal body. गोलक में होता है उसे. गोलक में. We know all these things. And then we come to 16 rounds. Even for me, it was very, very, very attractive. I was it's like going very high in one shot. But then when you come to know 10 offenses, life changes. When you explained about the 10 offenses, life changes from there. And as a child, I grew up, just 10, 15 minutes from the temple. So I was always playing in this Hare Krishna land only. I grew up with the community kids here. So those days, we never had any congregation preaching. There was only life membership, and there was Sankirtan, and there used to be 25 autos in front of the guest house. All the grastas after prasadam would take their bag and go out for life membership. That's it. Grastas doing fundraising, and out of that the cream would be preached, and then there would be food for life, Harinam. That was 5, 6 things. But we never had congregation, getting initiated, living at home. It was in the 80s and 90s. It was not there. The late 90s it was introduced, and then you get initiated also, staying at home. But there are a lot of challenges because once you become a devotee, in the social circle, various situations comes up, and many devotees, they at that moment they choose how much they can actually practice. Beyond that, it is not possible. And once you take that decision, no, beyond that you come down only. Beyond that you come down only. That is why association of devotees is very important. Radhakund Maharaj always mentions, he said, भक्ति जो है ना केवल भक्तों के साथ ही होती है, वरना नहीं होती. अगर कोई भक्त बोल रहा है कि वो जप करता है, मंदिर नहीं जा पाता और भक्तों से नहीं मिलता, वो झूठ बोल रहा है. अगर कोई भक्त बोल रहा है मैं जप करता हूँ और अगर वो मंदिर नहीं जाता है और भक्तों से नहीं मिलता है, तो वो एक्चुअली वो झूठ बोल रहा है. I came to know after 15 years about myself also. If you just little slack in your devotional life immediately, because for a karmi in ignorance, he has the world to blame for what he suffers and fight for his rights. But for a devotee with knowledge, with knowledge, if he develops, you know, desire for sense gratification and so-called material social security, with knowledge, if he does that, the suffering is much, 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 much magnified because you are in knowledge. Isn't it true? Because you are in knowledge. In knowledge, you have knowledge about everything. You have jnana. You have the shastric vision. With that, when you just make plans to how to enjoy in this material world, be safe. Just imagine this Israelis who are on the border and the Hamas. Do you feel they all planned their security? Everyone does that, isn't it true? Everyone. Israel is considered one of the world's most sophisticated security system. I never used to. Narottam Prabhu explain me about this Iron Dome. Few years, 10, 15 years ago, 10, 8, 10 years ago, Iron Dome. Nobody can attack it. So everything goes in the air only. At that time, I was like, I'm 12th pass anyways. So at that time, it was difficult. I thought some war will happen and the whole country will cover with a dome, Iron Dome, like that. When Narottam Prabhu explained me, actually, no, Prabhuji, there's a rockets which will go and blast. So with all these things, they are living in terror, and we all in a similar situation in our own, you know, and our so-called plans of the material world, so-called security. The most important aspect is to always remember Krishna and always live a life with philosophical conclusion. There may be challenges, but the conclusion should be discussed with the sadhu, Vaishnava, and Guru. Sadhu, Vaishnava, and Guru, and discuss how do I move ahead. When you do that, no, you get the Iron Dome. When you do that, you get the spiritual Iron Dome. Then the Guru and Vaishnavas they will lift you. Otherwise, we'll have to just go on, and it's another very long journey, and it's very suffering. It's very suffering. Many devotees I have seen, they plan material life so well, but after 10, 15 years, they hit a dead wall because no taste in the holy name, and he already knows all the pastimes. He has done 10 yatras already. Already he's been to Vrindavan 10 times, and his kathas he has done. Everything he knows now. One thing he missed, What is that? Huh? And applying it. Applying. Applying. You know, I was just referring, what should I speak on? So I was just going through because last year, few years ago, a couple of years ago, one of our very great leader, Srila Prabhupada's disciple, Bhakti Charu Maharaj, he left his body. I was last 2 years ago, 2021, I think. I was just going through his lectures. What I did is that whole year, any festival came, I went and referred his lecture to prepare classes, just to hear his money. So one of the very special, one of the classes which very few leaders had given was Dashera, and I heard Bhakti Charu Maharaj's class, and Maharaj was very beautifully explaining about the pastime, and he was actually it's a Ram Katha, so Dashera was this pastime of Ravana killing was also mentioned in that, and then he also was glorifying his god brothers, and every time he was speaking Srila Prabhupada's pastime in between. And when he left also, Yashumati Nandan Prabhu, his godbrother, they were all, Giriraj Maharaj, they were also glorifying him. So I was referring all these things. So Maharaj speaks that, of course, he mentions at one place that how the devotees of the Lord are always a friend of everyone. And pure devotees, they see everything on the platform of soul. And they see everything is a plan of the Supreme Lord. जो भी चल रहा है जगत में भगवान का ही planet. That's how they. That's why they don't discriminate. Like Devkinandan, a few days ago, again he was giving class. He said Narada Muni. He said all the Goswamis, 6 Goswamis, Sukadev Goswami, Narada Muni, they are friend of everyone. He said Narada Muni, he would go to Hiranyakashipu, Jai Hiranyakashipu, and pay obeisances, Oh, karke, and then or then he would, that's famous pastime, you know, Kamsa. He wanted the Lord to appear. He said he entered. Kamsa ki jai ho, like that he entered, Mathura. Kamsa ki jai ho, like that he entered Mathura. And then he made the Lord appear. So like the devotees of the Lord are very, very, they are friend of everyone. They are sadhus. That's why they are called sadhus. So Maharaj was explaining how he went into the pastime of the fight between Ravana and Lord Ramchandra. He said first though there was a whole how Mother Sita was kidnapped with the help of Marich. Then Mother Sita was kidnapped and the Lord Ramachandra is running here and there like a madman. He's shouting out, Site, Site, where are you? Where are you? And at times he actually embraces Lakshman and falls unconscious and wakes up and he says, Lakshman, will I be able to see Mother Sita again in this life? Our Sita again in this life? And then he's asking, and then suddenly he looks at a bird and then loudly asks the bird, did you see my Sita? And then looking at the tree, and then, at one time it is said that he gets angry. He said, if I will not be able to see my Sita, I will destroy the whole three world today. Then the voice comes, my Lord, this is a pastime. So Prabhupada explained that sometime a hero during a role, he gets so emotional into the role, he actually really cries. So the Lord also, when he's associating with his devotee, Lord has his own emotions with his devotees. So Lord, but by that time, Mother Radhakund Maharaj tells the story. By that time, Lord Ramchandra was crying, but a human being cannot imagine how Lord Ramchandra was crying because he was perfect human. So much so that Sita and Parvati, Lord Shiva and Parvati were passing by. So Lord Shiva saw, smiled and walked off. Parvati felt pity on Lord Rama. She took the form of Mother Sita and went, Prabhu. So Lord Ramchandra said, Devi, Shivji kidhar hai? And from there, Parvati ran off, to Lord Rama, to Lord Shiva. So Maharaj also touched this story and then he went on to the point how Lord Ramchandra sends Hanuman. And there's a big glorification of Hanuman, how he enters Lanka and being a brahmachari, seeing the situation there. And then he meets Mother Sita and burns the whole Lanka and comes back. And then there is actually, I'm just going fast forward. Ramayana is such, I have read 2, 3 versions. I know many stories. So Lord Ramchandra builds the bridge. He builds the bridge and he reaches the other side. He reaches Lanka. And then when he reaches Lanka, it is that the battle was very much visible. And Lord Ramchandra sends many messages indirectly to Ravana. And Angad actually also comes. And Hanuman also comes. So Ravana was just. And there was, when Hanuman burned the whole Lanka, one house he did not burn. You know what? House of Vibhishan. He didn't burn the house. So there was one great devotee living there. So Vibhishan actually he went and he fell at the feet of Ramana and preached to him. He preached to him that the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself has come. Your desire to enjoy Sita has already put the whole race of Ramanas in the grave. Just by thinking about it, you have already predicted that the whole race of Ramanas, Rakshasas, are going to die. And he was begging. Ravana was very. Ravana is Ravana, Bhakti Charu Maharaj. Ravana is Ravana. He even went to Bali Maharaj. to ask him some help. And Bali Maharaj preached him, Are you fool? He is our master. But as soon as lust, karma, material desire is taken over our intelligence, it's very difficult. Very strong punch of material nature is required to wake up. As soon as you are hunted by, karma, lust. So Ravana was not ready. So he wanted Bali Maharaj to, Bhakti Charu Maharaj, he wanted Bali Maharaj to help him. Bali Maharaj said, no. And he preached to him a lot. Then he said, I need help. So Bali Maharaj said, I will give you, uh, I'm not exactly remembering, but he told, I'll give you the mountain of gold. He showed him mountain of gold. He said, you take this and go. You had once lifted Kailash also, no? You once lifted Kailash also. Now you take this golden mountain and go. So Ravana tried to lift that golden mountain. He could not. He could not lift that golden mountain. So then Bali Maharaj preached. I said, what is this golden mountain? And the golden mountain has pearls and rubies on it, size of bigger than a human being. He says these golden mountains are actually the leftover earrings of Hiranyakashipu. This golden mountains, they are leftover jewelries of Hiranyakashipu, and you are not able to lift that. Then Maharaj again said, but Ravana is Ravana. He didn't listen to good advice. And then Bibhishan also again fell at his feet and he cried. And he kicked Bibhishan. I told you, get lost. You are what we call it? Cheater, traitor. You're a traitor. Get lost. He said, go. So Radhakund Maharaj in his class he tells very beautifully when Vibhishan reaches. So when Vibhishan reaches to the tent camp of Lord Rama, so immediately all the monkeys, Hanuman and Jambavan, they become very alert for Vibhishan's arrival with his allies. So they alarm him and they rush to Lord Ramchandra. Lord Ramchandra said, no, if someone is coming and taking shelter, you let him come first. So Lord Ramchandra hears Vibhishan and everyone was, all the Sugriv, Jambavan, Hanuman. Hanuman was always smiling only. Lord Ramchandra will do the right thing. Others were a little alarmed. And they just wanted to make sure that Lord Ramchandra does not trust Vibhishan. So Lord Ramchandra hears everything and he tells me, Lankesh, you are welcome because you have taken our shelter. And he glorifies himself how he comes from the Ikshvakukul dynasty where his great king father Dashrath Maharaj has given up his life for his word. And that way, if you have come, here you are welcome. So Jambavan or another monkey, he asked, my lord, we have not yet killed Ravana. And you already declared Bibhishan is Lankesh. Now you are giving shelter to Bibhishan. Tomorrow, Ravana also comes tomorrow night like this only. Then what about Lanka? He said, if Ravana comes and takes shelter of mine, I will make him the king of Ayodhya. Then another monkey asked, say, my lord, what about Bharat? He's sitting there. He said, I'll make him the king of Saket, Ayodhya and the spiritual world. I said, my lord, where you will go? He said, I'll go and live in the heart of my devotees. I'll go live in the heart of my pure devotees. And all of them had tears in their eyes. So then battle was imminent and Vibhishan came and gave all the tips of Ravana about his army, his sons, his strength, everything. And the battle began. And as we know, Lakshman gets injured and Hanuman goes and gets Sanjeevani. And then there is another pastime in between, and Hanuman was hunted down by Bharat. While he was bringing Sanjeevani, you know this story? While he was bringing Sanjeevani, he was crossing, because Hanuman was visible, but the Sanjeevani he was not able to search, so he picked up a whole huge mountain only. So that Hanuman was not visible, but flying mountain was visible. So Bharat shot it and he came down. And then there's a beautiful pastime, and Bharat cries like anything. Because when Hanuman understands this is Bharat, Hanuman starts crying. He said, there is not a single day in Lord Ramchandra's life not remembering you and remembering your glories. So many years what Rama is going through. Ram, Bharat cries, weeps. The pastime goes on. And then Bharat kills Indrajit, right? Indrajit, the son of Lakshman. Lakshman kills Indrajit after that. And then there's a big battle between Ravana and Lord Ramachandra. Now, this is just in few days. That's the Tithi, Dashera, this battle. Now, what I'm telling is going on. In somewhere, the Lord where is doing his pastime. The Tithi is the same everywhere. That's why we celebrate the Tithi. Wherever the Lord is appearing, uh, so many innumerable universes are there. They say in geography, though, we know there is a galaxy, and there are innumerable universes coming out. But from Bhagavatam, we understand Lord Mahavishnu is lying from his pores. By his breathing, innumerable universes are coming, and by his exhaling, by inhaling, innumerable universes are going in. And it is beyond our sense perception to calculate that. That is what our geography of Bhagavatam explains. So, where was I? Hmm? Lakshman killed Ravana. There was a big battle between Lord Ramchandra and while the battle, because it is said that Indra, because demigods, all the pastime, if you read Krishna book, demigods, they are great devotees of the Supreme Lord. When we become new devotees, we think demigods as conditioned souls. All of us, when we become new devotees, we see demigod temple, we say, करूं कि नहीं करूं, offense तो नहीं हो जाएगा, you know. We should pray धन्यवाद करूं कि नहीं demigod को. But they are all, devotees of the Supreme Lord, assisting him in his pastime. And Prabhupada mentioned the pure devotees are far beyond, far, far above the demigods. But at the same time, demigods are great Vaishnavas. So, Indra, because all this pastime, if you read Krishna book also, no, demigods, even when Lord Narsimhadev also came, is there in that Bhagavatam also. As soon as the Lord is killing some demon, the demigod will see, and as soon as the demon will see the sky, demigods will hide. Because the material desires are such that it makes you fearful. Bhagwan, maar denge. See, we all know so much about Supreme Lord and the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Do we follow? Do we follow? Knowingly. So all living beings, living beings have somewhere they have difficulty. So, anyways, coming to the point, demigods were looking, and Indra actually sent his chariot for Lord Ramchandra. Indra sent his chariot, and Ravana was on his chariot, and there was a big battle going on. And Lord Ramachandra, he was, because this section of Ramayana speaks 2 3 very beautiful stories, which happened in the same day. Ravana was killed somewhere early, late morning, and the same day 2 3 pastimes, beautiful pastimes happened. I mean, according to Ramayana, at least it looks like that happened the same day. So Ravana, because I read in Punna Pragya Prabhu's book, the 1 hour battle, the last was 1 hour battle. So Ravana and Lord Ramchandra, when they were throwing arrows, it was like thousands of arrows together, and both arrows were hitting and diminishing. And Ravana was crying, and Lord Ramchandra was saying, you shameless fellow, in my absence, in a disguised way, you came and kidnapped my wife, and you're talking that you're a great warrior. You're a shameless person. Lord Ramchandra chastising and leaving arrows on Ravana. So this way, the battle was going on. The strength of Lord Rama is Supreme Lord. Ravana actually becomes tired, releasing arrows. He becomes tired. And then he felt unconscious in his own chariot. So his charioteer takes away Ravana and dodges and goes away, far away. And Lord Ramchandra was not able to trace him. After a while, he wakes up, Ravana, and he chastises his charioteer. And how did you do that? You know, Rama, within few minutes he will destroy the whole Lanka if I am not there. Immediately take me there. He said, immediately take me there. Then by that time, it is said, Agastya Muni, he comes. Agastya Muni. And before that, Bibhishan had already told Lord Rama, if, because he has nectar, the benediction given by Brahma, which is in his heart. But when you are busy in something, you forget details. So Lord Rama was into just remembering Mother Sita. He kidnapped my Sita. Like a, say, Ravana took the benediction, and then he thought human beings are useless, and he took a benediction that except human being, he tells everyone else, all this species should not be able to kill me. Anything humans are useless, and Lord Ramchandra came as a proper human being. So Lord Ramchandra was also very busy remembering Mother Sita and getting angry, and the battle was going on like this, and there were living arrows. And then by that time, Ravana, when he was exhausted and taken away, Agastya Muni comes and he tells Lord Ramchandra to chant uh, Aditya Hriday Mantra. He tells him to chant Aditya Hriday Mantra. And that Aditya Hriday Mantra is the glorification of Sun God. Sun God. And there's a beautiful description of this mantra, that how Sun God is the one on whose just appearance, just by his bare, the sign of his appearance only. We call dawn, dusk, dawn, morning, and the sun is just coming, dawn. Ah, so dawn. Just the sign of his coming eliminates the darkness. Just by sign of your appearance, So like that beautiful glorification is there about Aditya Mantra. And Lord Ramchandra, he actually chants this. And then he was again reminded to take his Brahmastra. Take his Brahmastra. And Lord Ramchandra takes his Brahmastra and directly puts at Ravana. But of course, before that, there's a beautiful description that while the battle of Ravana, Lord Ramchandra was hitting on his head, and head was falling down. And immediately another head was coming and laughing. Sometime he would have 10 heads, and 10 heads would fall, again another 10 would come. Sometime he would have one head, it would fall down, and from the same place another head would come. And one head is down, and another head is coming right there. And the head which is down is laughing, the head which is up is laughing. And that's how thousands of heads were there, they all were laughing. I read today in Ramayana. They all were laughing like this. And Lord Ramchandra was like surprised, like a proper human being. He was surprised, what to do? So many arrows I'm leaving, the heads are falling off, they are also laughing, and this fellow more heads are coming up. So then, when he used the Brahmastra and hit on his chest, Ravana fell down unconscious. Totally fell down unconscious, and he died actually. Just blood came out, and he immediately just fell down dead. In one shot, the whole battle stopped. All the Rakshasas completely stopped. It is said the way Lord Ramachandra, before that only battle had stopped. He said the way Lord Rama and Ravana were releasing arrows at each other, and they were shouting and chastising each other. By that only the monkeys and the Rakshasas stopped their war, and they were looking up. But then when Ravana fell, all the Rakshasas started running away. All the Rakshasas. And then the wives of Ravana came, and some of them fell at his chest, some of them were holding his heart, some of them were falling at his feet. Mandodari, the most prime wife of Ravana, she comes there, and she actually holds Ravana's head, and she tells him, why you did not listen to the good advice of so many people? You were so much overtaken by lust that you just wanted to enjoy someone else's property. And look what you have done. Now, where we will go? And it is said the grift of Ravana's wife was so high that Lord Ramchandra told Vibhishan, yes, scene change karna, you immediately burn him. We immediately do the final rites for Ravana. Vibhishan said, no, he is not my brother. I don't even want to look at him. I don't want to do any final rites for the Ravana. And Lord Ramchandra says, see, whatever it is, he is a warrior and died in the battlefield. And one thing was there. It said that when Lord Ramchandra hit the arrow, it, and out of this I read today, it hits the heart and takes away all his sins, crosses the other side, and just buries his sins in the earth, because the arrow was of Lord Rama. Then now Bibhishan actually does the final rites. Then he does because Lord Ramchandra insists him, he does the final rites for Ravana. After the final rites are done, everyone was like, Lord Ramchandra said, Lakshman, enthroned. Do immediately the Rajya Abhishek of Vibhishan and making the king of Lanka. Immediately Lakshman, according to the Vedic rituals, he goes, brings the water from the three oceans which are there, and then he does Abhishek for Vibhishan and makes him the king of Lanka. Then Lord Ramchandra tells Hanuman, you immediately go to Sita and inform her that I have killed Ravana at this moment, and very soon I am going to come and meet her. But it is said that as soon as Lord Rama tells uh, Hanuman that I have killed Ravana, tell my Sita that I am very soon meeting her, Lord Rama has tears just by remembering Mother Sita. Then after that, Lord Ramachandra, he actually tells Vibhishan that take the best of your servants of Lanka and go there and decorate. Tell Sita to take bath, get ready, and very soon I'm going to meet her. So before that, Hanuman reaches there. Hanuman reaches there and he tells Mother Sita that Rakshash Ravana is killed, and very soon the the deity of your heart, the deity of our heart, great Rama, is very soon coming to see you. He's going to very soon meet you. So Mother Sita, when she hears this, immediately she was very, very happy. Very happy. But while with this happiness, she becomes a little sulky and fearful also. And tears flows from her eyes. That, oh Hanuman, even last time, I will, in this lifetime, I will never, forget your, what we call, kripa, no, favor. This, huh? Your service, yeah, you call it service. That even first time you came with me, came to me and reminded my Supreme Lord, and again now you have come. But at the same time, Mother Sita was looking here and there. She was fearful, very fearful, because all the Rakshasas, they were all around. So Hanuman looks at Rakshas. He said, Devi, don't worry. If you want, just close your eyes. Before you open, all will be dead. He said, Mother Sita. Mother Sita says, no. Don't even think about it. Mother Sita tells a very beautiful story to Hanuman at this moment. Very famous story, I think everyone knows it. Mother Sita tells, a righteous person will never blame anyone and be revengeful even to a person who has done bad to him, whereas he will see this as a his karma or will of providence. But never he will blame anyone. And tell Mother Sita, this is in Ramayana, a beautiful story. Mother Sita said, Hanuman, let me tell you one story. He said there was one hunter, and a tiger was chasing him because he lost his weapon. Tiger was chasing him. While the tiger was chasing him, the hunter climbed a tree. And above on the tree, there was a bear sleeping. पेट भर के खा के bear was sleeping. So the tiger stood down and he told the bear, I said, look, this is a hunter, our common enemy. He is our common enemy. You push him and I will eat him. So our common enemy will be finished. So bear said, see, I had enough what I wanted and I am satisfied. And even if someone has done something wrong to us, we should not be the same to others. Evil cannot be leveled by evil act. So I'm not going to do. And he denies to push the hunter. Now tiger thinks what to do for a while, and then he said, "Arey, hey, hunter!" He said, "Look, I am hungry. You push the bear down, and I'll eat him, and I'll go. Then your life is safe." Thak karke he pushed him. Fadak se, even you want to think about it. Thak karke pushed him. While the bear was falling off, he caught hold of a branch, and he saved his life and went up. Then the tiger said, "Look, see how this bear is. You know how these human beings are. Now you push him." And the bear told the same thing to him. An evil act cannot be leveled by another evil act. I'm not going to do that. And then mother says, see, a righteous animal can also have this intelligence. So Hanuman, Never think in your life to punish someone just because they are all following the order of Ravana. Actually, they are all innocent people. They are under a wrong master. See from it that way, and you please go and tell Rama, I'm very happy. Now this pastime happens. Now in the same section, the another pastime immediately connecting to it. Lord, the Vibhishan comes with uh, the servants and they tell Mother Sita to take bath. Mother Sita was not ready, but they request it is the order of Rama. You should get here, and Lord Rama wants to see you immediately. Now, Mother Sita first she denies, then she accepts because it's the order of Lord Rama. She accepts, takes bath, she's ready, and she's just going to see Lord Ramachandra. And she comes to where Lord Rama is. Lord Ramachandra also heads towards Mother Sita is. And there's a beautiful description, you know, for us conditioned souls, we grew up seeing Bollywood movies. So we're not able to connect, but beautiful description is there. How Lord Ramchandra is very happy in his heart. Mother Sita is very shy, and Vibhishan arranges a palanquin to bring Mother Sita. Mother Sita sits in the palanquin and she comes. While Lord Ramchandra is waiting and he's holding Hanuman, sometimes he's holding Hanuman, sometimes he's holding Lakshman, like a proper human being, very excited to meet his beautiful wife. And Hanuman is feeling little, no, Lakshman is feeling little shy, looking at his brother like this. So then, suddenly, when the palanquin comes a little far away, and Lord Ramchandra could not see, but there was a big commotion, big fight, commotion, sound, and this. So Lord Ramchandra comes out and says, "What is happening? What is this?" He says, "My Lord, uh, all our Vanaras, they have gone crazy, and they palanquin is there, and it's all curtain, and they're so eager to see glance of Mother Sita, they're just pushing and fighting amongst each other." And there's a loud sound wave, like that. So Lord Ramchandra smiles and he tells, the affection of a woman and a chaste lady can be can be present in a war, swayamvara, and a family program. So now this is shastric evidence. What other three a woman can be present in? Other than it said that a woman should always come out of the house with a father, husband, and a grown-up son. Always be under shelter. And these are the other three things, which is I read in the Ramayana. In a fight where a chaste woman comes, it can be settled. And in a Swayambara, where warriors have to fight and show, and in a family program, a woman is there, the work is done. So then, then what happened? Vibhishan orders everyone to put the palanquin down, and Mother Sita actually comes out of the palanquin. Mother Sita comes and she walks. And imagine, Mother Sita, and all the monkeys are staring at her, all of them. And Mother Sita puts her head down and seeking step, one step, two step, and every step monkeys' mouths are open and they're looking at Mother Sita. And Lord Ramchandra has ordered, let her come walking towards me. Put her down from the planet. And everyone in their heart, in Ramayana, it's so beautifully mentioned that all the monkeys, they were just looking at Lord Mother Sita and looking at Lord Rama. And Mother Sita's tears are filling her, because she wants to see Rama, but all the monkeys are looking at her. So she cannot look, but she's so happy, tears are falling from her eyes. She's walking towards Lord Rama. At that time, something disturbs Lord Ramchandra. Something disturbs Lord Ramchandra. And he tells, you stop there only, he says. And very grave, angry, red eyes, and very serious voice. Lord Ramchandra says, you stop there only. You stop there only. And I have achieved my task. My whole dynasty's name was at stake because a queen of our dynasty was kidnapped. By killing Ravana, I have got the fame of Ikshvaku dynasty back. Don't expect that I can accept you. Don't expect that I can expect you. It will be a foolish man who will accept a woman like you. How can it be possible that you lived with a Rakshasa like Ravana for several months and you are still pure? So that is why I, as a king, have done the duty of killing Ravana, and you are free to do what you want to do for yourself. I cannot accept you. You can choose anyone and move ahead. Not possible. Lakshman, that's why Lakshman tells the next slide, next Leela notes, I will come as elder brother. When all the Vanar, especially Hanuman, Jambavan, Sugriv, Lakshman, and Lord Ramchandra was so angry, they had no guts to tell anything to Rama. He was so angry. And tears were flowing from the eyes of Mother Sita, and her head is down only. And then, uh, and Lakshman starts crying. Sugriv starts crying. And they're looking at Rama, and tears flowing, and they're just thinking, who will speak to Rama like this angry? And then Lord Ramchandra said, no, cannot accept so. Mother Sita, she thinks for a while, she cries, and then after a while, takes her head up. Why did you then come to save me? Why did you send Hanuman? Why did you do all these things? And how did you have the courage to, blame me like this? And what is the point? Why did you come till here? Even if you killed Ravana, why did you call me here? Mother Sita very angrily she says. And he says, if that is the point, it's better that I just give up my body entering fire. Mother Sita comes close to Lord Ramachandra, and then she prays to fire god. One story says Lakshmana was ordered by Lord Rama. One story says that Mother Sita called actually to enter fire and give up. So Mother Sita comes and she prays to Lord Fire when he appears there. She said, if Sita has only and only been chased to Rama in her mind all her life, then this body should be purified and should not burn when I take your shelter. Please, with this boon, let me come and take your shelter. Mother Sita, first, even in this situation, she goes to Lord Rama, does three parikrama of Lord Ramchandra, putting her head down with tears, and then enters. And then there's a beautiful pastime I heard it in Bhakti Vikas Maharaj Ramayana. And as soon as she enters there, Lord, so the demigod, you know, it is, the demigod is standing inside paying obeisances to Mother Sita. And of course, the pastime says that Maya Chita, Chaya Sita goes back to Agni, and Devi Sita comes out from there. And then when she comes back, Lord Ramchandra becomes very pacified, very happy, and then he tells that I know Sita is very chaste and very pure, but the world is such a place that they will always ask this question. Rama accepted her when she lived so many months with Ravana. So Sita had to go through this test. And then after this, Brahma comes, glorifies Lord Rama. Shiva comes. And the Valmiki Ramayana explains, along with Shiva, on a celestial chariot, Dasharath Maharaj comes. It appears on the day of Dashara only, by evening. Dasharath Maharaj comes here. And he takes Lord Rama. Lord Rama goes running. He takes Lord Rama on his laps. And Lord Rama is crying. And then Dasharath says, I am very proud of you. It glorifies him that you have actually come out and killed. And then if Lord Dasharath is preaching Lord Rama that you are the supreme personality of Godhead, don't be overly like a human being. So then after that, Lord Ramchandra requests Dasharath Maharaj that I also want to request you one thing. He said, what? He said, please take your words and curse back on Kaikai. And then you rejected Bharat also because of Kaikai. Please accept Bharat, not Ramchandra. And then Dasharath Maharaj had tears and he goes to Sita Devi. and he requests her, please forgive Rama. Please don't keep anything against Rama in your heart. For him, you are everything. Please forgive him. And everyone pays obeisance, and Dashrath actually glorifies. He says how he is happy and how Lord Ramchandra has fulfilled his, you know, purpose of his appearance actually. As Ramayana explains, the when it was announced that Rama is going to become the king, all the demigods become fearful. अरे ये king बन के अयोध्या बनेगा तो राक्षसों को कौन मारेगा? Then they sent Saraswati. Saraswati went and sat in the mouth of Mantra, and through Mantra this happened. The Lord Ramchandra came out and killed the Ravana. So all these pastimes actually happened on the day of, according to what I read in Ramayana. It is just one after another, pages to pages. So all this pastime happened right on the day Ravana was killed, morning until the evening. All these pastimes happened, and then, as we know, that Lord came back with all the Vanar. In fact, he was having Pushpaka Vahan, no? And while it was crossing Kishkinda, all the monkeys were stressed out looking down. Lord Ramchandra took the Pushpaka Vahan down and took the monkeys with their wives and children also. Took everyone to Ayodhya. So this way, this beautiful pastime, this happened on the day of Dashera. So for all of us devotees, the Lord's pastime has so much of teachings. The Lord. It is said that even while Lord Ramchandra was fighting with Ravana, the charioteer of the chariot of Indra, um, the charioteer's name is Mahala. Huh? Mahala. So Lord Rama at angry said, Mahala, take me here. Then he remembers, Arey, he is the charioteer of Indra. And then Lord Ramchandra, while fighting, asked forgiveness. I'm sorry, actually, you are the charioteer of Indra. Indra has sent you to help me, and I'm chastising you like this. Please forgive me. And he cries there, oh Mala, seeing the humility of Lord Ramchandra. So in this way, uh, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have all these beautiful pastimes, along with the Israel war and the World Cup, to drown into and understand the higher values of life, because it is said the Lord's pastimes are very sweet, and when you hear in a bona fide parampara, it directly goes into the heart. If you don't hear it from bona fide parampara, some tears come out and you go out and become the same. But by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we are very fortunate that we have all this katha, all these pastimes with Bhaktivedanta purports. Bhakti Vikas Maharaj translated, and if you read that Ramayana, I read the Ramayana twice actually, Bhakti Vikas Maharaj. You feel as if you are using Prabhupada, because every pastime is having a teaching. Prabhupada, he did not give katha, he did katha with tattva. So when we know all these pastimes with the details, it is very nourishing for the soul. This is the real treasure, to hear about the Lord, glorify his pastimes, take teachings from it. Take teachings from it. So many Matajis, they blame, सीता के साथ ऐसा क्यों हुआ? औरत के साथ ही ऐसा क्यों होता है? But the beautiful thing is, Mother Sita never blamed. She never blamed. In conclusion, she never blamed Lord Rama. That is a beauty. It is said that the tolerance of a woman is oceanic, and when she loses that, it is hellish. And Lord Ramachandra is an ideal human being, crosses any boundaries, and so much of love for his devotees. Like the pastime of Vibhishan accepting. So in this way, we should take the teachings. All of us in our spiritual life, we are always having somewhere where we are struggling. But hearing about Krishna, having association of devotees, in association of devotees, when we chant and hear about the Supreme Lord, we actually develop the inner strength to overcome the shortcoming in the path of bhakti. In the path of bhakti. We overcome that in the path of bhakti. When we hear this pastimes in association, and it is just inconceivable for us to understand it. Only over a period of time we come to know. And even to perceive this, very important for devotees to always have a heart of gratitude. Many a times in path of bhakti, we understand the philosophy and we go back to what we are with our conditionings. Because there are some challenges in devotional path also, there are challenges. But many times as devotees grow, they should always, in challenges in path of bhakti, we should always remind ourselves what we were before we were introduced to path of bhakti, and what we are now today. We have to always have this heart of gratitude. If we have a heart of gratitude, no, you will relish the challenges in spiritual life. And always think big on how you can offer yourself to Krishna. How you can offer yourself. Prabhupada said, I have only one problem. I cannot think small. And Prabhupada disciples exemplified. I was telling Yashomati Nandan Prabhu, one day, uh, Yashomati Nandan Prabhu was speaking a pastime of Srila Prabhupada, wherein he was present, and Giriraj Maharaj's parents, his name is Giriraj Swami Maharaj, who is the pioneer of this temple. His parents had come to meet Srila Prabhupada, and Yashomati Nandan Prabhu was there, and Giriraj Maharaj was there. So his father practically offered a blank check. Giriraj Maharaj comes from a very, very rich family, millionaires. So his father offered a blank check to Srila Prabhupada to release Giriraj Swami Maharaj from this movement. So Srila Prabhupada was very, very intelligent. First, he bought Giriraj Maharaj, made him sit in front of his parents. He said, your father, they love you so much, and your mother. And mother was actually having tears. And and then Prabhupada explained how they are so eager to take you back, and they are offering so much of donation for this mission. They love you so much. And Prabhupada was not telling go. He was indicating they love you so much, it means you should go. But Giriraj Maharaj looked at Prabhupada and he said, very softly said, Srila Prabhupada, in this lifetime, nothing can separate me from your lotus feet. You know, in this lifetime, nothing can separate me from your lotus feet. Now, I don't remember, he told the check, we can accept the donation. I don't remember, I don't want to speculate, but some context for that he was ready to accept the check and दोनों ही रख लेंगे, check भी रख लेंगे, मैं भी रह जाऊंगा. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for patiently hearing. Srila Prabhupada ki. Any questions or comments? Yes, Prabhuji. We don't care for people. Because people who say this, they have never read Ramayana. That is why they're ignorant. They're ignorant people. So what we preach to them, we tell them, have you? First thing is when they say like this, you just ask them one question. They will just come on their knees. You understand? घुटने पे आ जाएंगे. Ask them only one question. Have you read Ramayana? Just ask them one question. Have you read Ramayana? If he has read, he will never ask this question. And if he has not read, then you can tell him what is the right. Okay? Because this is how, see, materialist people, they will, even all our, forget about division, making fun of division. People make fun of us only if we become a devotee, our own family, society and friends. अरे ब्रेन वॉश हो गया, पागल हो गए, इसको खींच लिया लोग ने. Isn't it? Our own family and society. That's why there is a very strict instruction. Never preach to your family and friend. Bring them to temple, show them. They'll say, हाँ, बार-बार पैलेस में आते हैं, प्रसाद तो देखो, now you will eat prasad. No 7-star, 5-star hotel can give you this kind of prasad, this kind of food. So they just, they, in their heart, they are checkmate. You just bring the family in front of the temple, show them our festivals, show them what we eat, make them hear our philosophy by someone else. Have you seen check a chessmate? It happens in the heart, and leave them. Just leave them. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki.